Hi, my name is Amrita Paul. We are going to discuss the risky practice of using social media in hospital and policies or guidelines to avoid this risk based on IG standard practices. The major risks we are going to discuss are the risky practices like privacy breach of patients, medical advice through digital platform, third-party involvement in hospital and social media activities, spread of fake news, unnecessary use of social media at workplace, negative comments, return on investment barriers, as well as the legal and regulatory barriers. Privacy breach of patients is mainly caused due to the use of social media information for other without the consent of patients. Use of social media for medical records and data collecting has become extreme. A poll of 480 professionals, including medical students, resident physicians, and practicing physicians, was done on patient privacy problems. According to the findings, 68% of them encountered ethical and privacy issues while transmitting patient information via social media. Violation of Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act is also a major risk practice. Following patients on Facebook and sending friendship requests is a major HIPAA violation. This expressively specifies that for doctors to communicate with patients for any type of patient care, a HIPAA complaint permission signed by the patient is a must. As a result, is strongly advised to avoid situations when direct social media interaction of patient care is required. Using unauthorized medical advice in social media is another major fact that we are facing in today's world. Many others use social media to get medical advice for the daily problems or health issues. Many health practitioners address the risk in medical advice given through digital forums. A survey conducted in 2009 provided that out of 61% of adults, 80% serve through internet to know about their health diagnosis. This resulted in risk of getting into wrong health information and medical advice. It was also found that it increased with more people posting medical advice in Facebook and Twitter. Using unauthorized medical advice also result in the chance that you will end up with incorrect health medical advice. It was shown that more individuals shared medical advice on social media sites like Twitter and Facebook. Third party involvement in hospital social media activities will create privacy issues and online frauders taking the data that is belonging to the patients. Through social networking platforms, online fraudsters gain access to medical details. Online fraudsters have begun to deploy Trojan for remote access since physicians' contact has shifted to social media. Information thieves, key lockers, and bankers are all on this loose. It was discovered that Facebook, Microsoft Output, Web Access, and Microsoft OneDrive were exploited to obtain patient credentials. Damage to professional image is one of the main difficulty that hospital and doctors and other physicians deal with in a social media. Information governance is not maintained while taking the hospital information into social media without the consent of the patients or the doctors. 93.3% of hospitals who participated in a research is says that uh, damage to professional image is one of the main concerns. Negative image established by social media cannot be changed and will persist in perpetuity. Once the news spread on social media networks, deleting and incorrect remarks appears to be difficult task. Unnecessary use of social media at workplace also causes the concern for the medical practitioners by wasting their time on social media. Clients worry about the inadequate care delivered by caretakers because social media takes up too much of their time. Legal and regulatory barriers includes uh, the patient agreement that should be taken from the patient before posting anything in online media. If anything is posted in and social media, it is not easy to delete or deal with the wrong comments that is going to come. Also, the investment barriers is like in social media technologies, the hospital may invest more money and for the benefit of the hospital or the reputation of the hospital and advertisement, which cannot be got if there is any barriers like any damage for professional image or if the hospital didn't get the reputation that they were expecting. According to YouGov survey, 57% servers customers believe that social media relationship with the hospital will have a significant effect in their choice to seek uh, care there. Next, we are going to recommend guidelines and policies to avoid these risk practices based on IG standard policies. First of all, IG practices to avoid privacy and security breaches are privacy and security are top consumer concerns while sharing their health information through social media. Health providers should do the following using while using social media. First of all, they have to do the privacy settings to protect their personal information content. Secondly, develop policies that monitor companies' presence in social media and analyze content according to company standards. It is also advised to maintain professional conduct and to keep personal and professional content separate while posting anything in social media by any practitioners or any employees. Think about the consequence so that we can be advised to not post something that we are not sure about in social media. Other guidelines for reduce the spread of fake news is to deploy a content expert to see the activities that are occurring in social media. Journals are likely to turn to specialized social media consultants in the future to boost their influence. However, there will be always a need for a content expert to manage these operations, especially in specialized fields like hospital. A badly written tweet, a clumsy photo of comedy, or a misplaced selfie may all be troublesome. Policies to follow while giving medical advice in online media is follows. Uh, First of all, while giving any medical advice in online, we have to make sure to provide disclaimers. The disclaimers also assist in being protected by the law in the event that any issue develop from customer side when consuming or undergoing any therapy recommended by the provider. Despite the fact that actual legislation and the legal duties must be done. IG policies to avoid legal barriers are to conduct the requirements for procurement, pre-contract inspections, contract legal provisions, contract performance management, which will require resources and include a selected manager and audit, and to contract departure management. Network security can be done using device security, including encryption, software security, including protection against malware, data and system backup, secure transfer of data, physical security of the data, access control functionality, logging, alerts, and auditing and reporting. Logging and alerts can be done if any people access the confidential data, and control functionality can be used to govern the uh, process of functions that are related to any risky practices. Recommended guidelines and policies based on IG standard policies also include the to have a balance between privacy legislation and expectation and openness, and dedicate appropriate resource for acceptable information security precautions. Also allow the employees to use the social media without restriction. Restrictive IT regulations may be impossible for hospital staff to engage and monitor the work-related interactions. So it is important to recognize the patient's privacy issues by giving the policies to um, how to use the social media. Recommended guidelines and uh, mm, furthermore, maintain a patient community centered mindset. When aims and expectations are unclear, privacy content may be used for wrong purpose and audience. Identify lawful commercial usage and put a stop to risky behaviors. Then, in writing, declare the organization's social media expectations and develop policy and standards for proper use. Educate and train employees on how to utilize social media and company policy. Retreat at the significance of exercising good discretion and when utilizing social media. To conclude, it can be argued that despite the fact that there are many harmful activities in hospital settings that can be handled with appropriate information regulation and standards. Also, while utilizing social media for professional purposes such as Twitter and Facebook, it is critical to adhere social standards. Today's social media may aid in the shift to patient-centered care and population health, as well as boost efficiency. The next generation of mobile devices, as well as technology convergence, will allow for more secure treatment delivery between patients and clinicians. Thank you.